Dark Lord Maalik for our secret, a master ring to control all others. And into this ring, he poured his cruelty, his malice, and his will to dominate all life. One ring to rule them all.
Everybody wanna know 2 feet and breathe on my ears a target. I can really give a motherfucker less regardless. Ain't no you getting new when the latest is back. Either last days will be the darkest.
If time was alive, would you try to make it your bitch? Would you speed it up or slow it down with punches and
But he was destroyed. Destroyed.
You have no power. Servant of mortal God. You are made.
You go regulate, bopping on Lotus and I'm picking the truth. Not gonna lose with nothing to lose and much to gain. Ride together deep in your veins, spread out the open artery and the bloodprint we remain. It better show that know the bullshit that's us, but it is quite irrelevant. Like trying to tell the force on television, and it all depends on who's telling it. Born again Christians, I don't miss shit. Time to bear witness, notice sick, disinfecting the business, cause of conditions, pray for forgiveness, lay on the business. My vision been red, can't repent. I'm a grown man now, my mind in the blood. Mama said I done lost my sense. Everywhere that I'm at, all I hear in my head is a beat of a heart. I gotta make it quick, so I got me a knife and I step a fool dead. It's just another life, and to me it ain't shit. Couple of minutes of peace, finally put all of this bullshit behind me. I wish it was just that simple, but it ain't. I'm still just a struggle, don't rock this pain. And fuck what you said, and fuck what you heard, and fuck apologies too little, too late. So I take my fucking head to this, put your fucking head and watch your blood go where you know.
Lotus will explode this. And then corrode us. The souls from beyond the sun are the ones who forebode this, as was told to who done the lost son of osmosis. So plant your seeds in that dirty mud, cause hell's be the grossest. So don't be scared to water them with blood. The stems will grow fast. The great knowledge of the future comes from knowing your past. The 5 petals of the pot come from the God you trust. Isn't it odd? This is forever dark. Lotus. Salvation, is it lost or is it found? Do you live your life with faith or do you live it without faith? This is the question brought forth by him, the third Joker's card of the mighty second deck. His name is a reflection of the answer itself. He is simply known as this missing link has been found. Your life's full circle is now completed. Whatever you dished out, then you eat it. Now, let's hope you like it. The way you treated your mom wasn't right, kid. And now that you overdosed on dope and died, the link is tied. You reap everything you sow. Let it sink in now that you choked up, dead and stinking. It's time for judgment. The missing link is now tied in. Off to hell you go riding, or Shangri-La for the lucky few who live life tried and true. The link in the chain is for you to gain all that you got coming to ya. Bang!
Hello, humans. You can call me Stitch, which is short for 8 out of 9 stitches in my crack after Kobe Bryant came to visit me last weekend in Aspen. What can I say? My parents were hippies and in rehab for most of my youth. It is the end of September and it has begun. The holiday of evil, the rise of Samhain has begun, and I've got a double-barrel holy warrior sawed off this year for anyone trying to snuff me out like last year. Maybe you all learned your lesson when I absconded across history with old Saint Nick hog, hide, and duct-taped in my chimney last Christmas, dropping lumps of cedar pine flooring on the gods and deities' heads as my season's greetings pay back for both sides of the fence. But it is a new year, and that was one of the celebrated purposes of having a new year, they say, to let go of the bad indifferences between individuals and let the simple conflicts go and start anew. Unless they are persistent and arrogant adversaries who refuse to see the error of their own behaviors and have no intention on letting anything go. But so in this effort of good tidings I say, black, patchouli and barf, get your crispy crinkled influences up out of my thoughts before I taser your jolly butt cheeks. There's a line, O crowned king of the Cookie Bandit Brigade. Now that is settled, maybe this year if they cross that holiday spirit personal boundary, I'll hijack the Easter Bunny and drop him off in Soho, China's meat market. So this year, kids and other assorted annoying pets, like closet gremlins, we shall be going over the legend of Kronos, also known as Old Man Time, and the legendary Lord of the Kingdom of the Dead, Father of Darkness and Lord of the Necromancers, and what he is doing within the writings of Blackbeard's Tale of the Chronosphere. Never heard of that tale? Well, that's because he never finished it and left it up to his family to complete the story, but it never was published and still incomplete. So who turned Maalik into a fairy tale book and seeded him into my works? Someone has been playing with magic again. Let us drop in on Koenig and see what the unholy knight of the 9 princes of hell has been up to. But first let me drop a line to an old homie of mine, Hell's chief intelligence operative and my personal enforcer. You all love the many seeming personalities of the Mac of the Damned. His catchphrase sounds like this: I am. Fill in the blank, for we are many and you are but one. What could you possibly do to stand against such a foe as I, child of the light-burn ones? For I am made of shadow and fire, not even 10,000 soldiers could stand against me. What can you possibly do to stop me? Yes, you are correct, it is Legion. Clap and applause, you little sacks of meat held together with boogers. I say clap. So let us go over Maalik's legend first, for after completing that old devil of the seven seas tale and fulfilling his dream by publishing his story so that the whole world can access the finished and edited version of his story, just as his last wish stated, which came with a boon of a reward to whoever achieved his heart's greatest desire, that they would inherit the secret and coveted map of the hidden treasure of Blackbeard the pirate, that would lead to a treasure not like any ever seen before. For it was a map to the lost island of Atlantis, on which are said to be treasures and dreamed of. Yes, sure, the treasure awaits for anyone that has a submarine. The whole island is submerged, and to top it off, the island of Atlantis was not originally owned by the Atlantans. Those lands were ruled over by Maalik, for the island of Atlantis was, before it was anything else, it was the kingdom of the dead, from which no living man had ever returned from. These lands, long ago before the great cataclysm that destroyed the old kingdom, was a land once ruled by the Ancient Ones. Great ferocious monsters with the appetite that demanded a diet of at least 40 men a day, and whose image to look upon would drive men into madness, and the sounds they made in the recesses of the deep caverns and darkest shadows were that of the sounds of the gnashing of teeth and the tearing of flesh. Even these ancient giants could not travel to the heart of the kingdom, where a fortress lay settled between the 9 mountains of fire, and a thick cloud of poison hovered above the surface that would kill anything living long before they could reach this castle. Legends say that only the spirits of the damned and cursed wandered its lands, and the sunlight never shined anywhere upon it, for it was the land of the eternal night, with the great mountain that separated his kingdom from the rest of the world to the western border, and the lands of banishment lay to the eastern border, where the valley of shadows exited his kingdom into the lands of the Exodeus, a place where no seed would sprout, for the soil held no green thing that would grow, nor any animal that would not eat them first could be found. The necromancer lord was not always evil. By his account, his mind had been taken over by this living shade of pure hatred and death, and it manipulated him into forging the stones of creation. The 3 stones of power that could be compared to Thanos and the Infinity Stone's effects, as together they would give the one who possessed the stones the same type of power that the Infinity Stones did in the movie. One of the stones is a well-known legend, the Philosopher's Stone, that gives the holder the power over time and space. The second stone is the lesser-known Celestial Stone, or the Tear of Gaia, that gives the holder the ability to transcend death and elongate their lifespan, making them immortal. The third stone was the Black Onyx Stone of Darkness, or the Chintamani Wishing Stone, that would give the holder the power to bend the very fabrics of reality, as it could bring the desires and images of the mind into the physical world. Together with these 3 stones, Maalik laid waste to the old kingdom without much effort. The 10 kingdoms of the world at that time joined together in a grand war against Maalik. They tried flanking his kingdom from both sides, but with the highest mountain range in the world on one side and the marshlands that led into the eastern entrance to the lands of exile, it was no simple task getting into his kingdom. They tried, and they failed, as Maalik's forces laid waste to the 10 kingdoms' armies. The main gates region that stretched from the current-day area of Colorado all the way down to the borders of Mexico was the site of a massive battleground, and it is the reason why the Superstition Mountain area is so cursed that even the Native Americans cautioned about dwelling in this region, as it has been cursed since their forefathers arrived there. Entire villages have gone missing overnight, and supernatural encounters are numbered to be in the many hundreds over recorded history. It was here in this battle that the Archangel Raphael battled against the son of Azazel, and defeated him by impaling him upon the rocks within a cavern somewhere round the Badlands Desert, and then caved it in, trapping him there forever. They say that this battle is what first carved the fault line and formation of what later became the Grand Canyon. Or is it something else that was lost in translation? Barren lands where nothing would grow, an ancient battle between two forces that were once one people until the separation from God divided the fallen warring angels from the sons of God who were loyal to the Creator. In the midst of the battle, Raphael fell Israel in battle, carving the crack that split the surface into the Grand Canyon Gorge, setting the San Andreas fault line into place that cracked all the way up into Colorado, causing the volcano at Yellowstone to crack up the side of the volcano, as well as the 9 fissure volcanoes to form afterward. This sounds very familiar to the scenario that first brought the radiation into our atmosphere that caused the whole great cataclysm cycle to begin in the first place. One striking here in the regions of the upper Grand Canyon Gorge, and the other crashing into the Mariana Trench area, forming that underwater gorge that actually might have led to the slow collapse of the entire island, along with other cascading factors, but the one whose power core ruptured on impact and leaked the radon into our atmosphere would have been the one that hit the Grand Canyon. As the entire region of the North American area suffered from the fallout effects and leaving the soil without any nutrients to grow food. This would have occurred, by their recorded accounts, 500 million years ago or so. Maybe that is what the real Area 51 is made from. I could see the government just building a facility out of the wreckage, probably underground there in New Mexico. And the plot thickens? Stay tuned for next week's episode titled Magic, Mars, or Bust, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Answer to the Question of if aliens aren't real, like they've told us for centuries and still do to this day. Then why does every secret religious order, from the Rosicrucians to the Illuminati, Merovingians, Scientologists, Hebrews, Egyptians, Mayans, Hindu, Luciferians, and Jewish, along with many more, why do they all have secret agendas that are centered around the acquiring of various alien technology to achieve some self-designed apex of their order's entire purpose and plans?
To Nyarlathotep must all things be told, for he is the messenger between the spheres, and the traveler between the realms of the living and the dead. He shall summon forth the ancient ones, and wake them from their deathless slumber. Then shall the elder signs be shattered, and the lords of darkness be released. Across the black seas of infinity, and beyond the mists of time, Arthas watches and waits. For he is the guardian of the gateway between worlds, and he alone holds the key to unlock the gate. For when the ancient rites have been spoken, and the lords of darkness have been awakened and summoned forth, then shall the gateway between the stars open once more. Past, present, future, all are one in Arthas.
Enfrac priceless. Forget the Ashanti element.
Where are the Elder Gods?
Demos Iado, Netherati Burstmasm, Elstragasian
Their pathetic mortal combat shackles me no longer.
Zephyrin stars, you all yen yarn, a GE high on suicide, high on
They masquerade as dragons, but are mere toothless worms. My vision spreads as the ends Stop! It is done. Your time has passed. Ages wasted in foolish resistance. Now is the dawn of my rule.
No Stromer. The dog Ridlock Nitanavon. Jerem Maltel.
Yes.
Melera.
Pray to the worms. As your
I tell. Rechu Uth Oi Denizai.
He must win.
You have done well, Horadrim. Your service here is finished. And you should all